everybody. Josh the RV Nerd with Bish's RV here with a floor plan that's not exactly new, but it is the first time I've had a chance to put one of these on the channel here. This White Hawk rear living, and basically what they did is they took like a 2500 Imagine floor plan and then just cranked it up to 11 and put it on steroids by like, it is bigger, longer, heavier, more expensive, certainly. So those in a sense are negative qualities, but that also adds more storage, more seating, more space, more comfort. Some people really dislike a walk-through bathroom. This has a walk-around hallway bathroom, but some people don't like those either, so different strokes, different folks. True queen bed up front with some extra bonus hanging storage kind of off in the corner, which is kind of handy. And thanks to the addition of the second bedroom entry door, you can access the bedroom, the bathroom, and the kitchen all without ever touching the slide button, albeit with what I call two-stage travel access. And that's the kind of stuff I want to showcase for you in this video. Like, where does this RV shine? Where does it fall short a little bit maybe? And is it the right one for you? Now, they're a double Asdell using brand. They're 0 to 100 degree rated. They're using better stabilizers to take more of the herky-jerkiness out of the RV, and they now finally have some level of factory standard solar, and you can expand on that a little bit, if you were so inclined. Things like the Goodyear Endurance radials, tire pressure monitoring, all standard here, and wide stance stability axles really helping offset some of that extra length to give you a better, more comfortable towing experience. The roof is fully walkable. They have a ladder built right onto it, so getting around this thing is pretty simple and easy. And the Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsaber lighting on the nose cap is really just kind of the cherry on top of the whole sundae for me. But again, it does have a couple downfalls. It has a couple good qualities, and I'm going to try to share good, bad, ugly with everything in between. And if you appreciate how we go through these things for you and get all that footage, hit that subscribe button, like our video, and let's get in there because we have a lot to cover. You know, I've been in this for a while, and it's kind of crazy seeing where your White Hawk, like what it has grown into versus what it was when it began. I don't think anyone ever would have imagined it would be one of the more premium level trailers out there today. Very high general trim package on these overall. Really what's funny is if you look at it, it has a ton in common with stuff like Eagle HT trailers. It's just in a little smaller, lighter frame. Pound for pound, dollar for dollar. It could be argued that this might be sort of the better buy within the Jayco family, but, you know, the floor plans are different enough, I think, that generally keeps them separated. Now, this one's kind of interesting over here, because you sort of have that angled entertainment center, but you've got a double Dynofa rear conversation station situation going on, and the TV can pivot around. So if you want the TV to face flat toward the rear triple-seater theater seat, you can do that. Now, this over here is actually a hide-a-bed trifold sleeper sofa because you already have a theater seat in the back. Plus, you have dinette, which is either a booth or a table and chairs. You can kind of choose your own adventure here. So if you want, you could actually swap around some seating in this so that it's pure theater seating and table and chairs. Or, you know, you could actually have some really good guest capacity. This is a really flexible floor plan that way. And it looks and feels absolutely enormous in here. And that vaulted ceiling and the updated decor that they have going on really, really help. An interesting thing that White Hawk and Jay-Feather both do is they always include a big XL vent fan, but they put it in the biggest room of the RV, which actually does make some sense, you know. This is where you're going to spend the majority of your time. This is where you're going to want to help promote some, heat exhaust and cross breeze air refreshing coming in through the side breeze windows on either side of the rear theater seat or the slide sides, because all of your windows in this will cross breeze. The only windows that don't open for airflow are the windshield and the windows in the entry door. Everything else does open for some level of airflow, and they're really good in these about putting USB and household outlets in basically anywhere you're sitting or sleeping. Although those household outlets down there all the way by the floor, I do kind of wish they were up a little bit higher. Now, notice how I've got those little swivel stands, like one on each sofa. Nothing says you have to use them only on one couch, but I've never really had an opportunity to display that. All they do is just slot in the cup holders of the armrests of the sofas, and there you go. Now, if you kind of like those things, but you don't have a Jayco RV, you can order those, but you basically have to order them like through a Jayco dealer part shop. I don't know the exact details. I've never taken the time to fully verify it, but Jayco has some kind of either exclusivity or patent or something like that. So it's not that you can't find them on other brands, it's just that you just tend not to. The pedestal table mount on this is one of the only things I'd kind of like to see improved, especially considering like Jayfeather's using those cool folding, removable, floating base legs on their tables. I kind of wish they were doing that here in Whitehawk. I'm almost a little surprised they're not, because it feels like in a way that's an area where the Whitehawk has elevated and enhanced itself above a Whitehawk. The feather has advanced above a Whitehawk. I don't know how I phrase that. Sorry. This is like day 13 in a row of me recording at least 6 videos a day. And at this point, the words are so jumbled in my head, it's not even funny. Now, if you're sitting back here at the rear sofa, this is kind of your view right here by default. But again, you can pivot that TV around to make it face different directions, kind of whatever works for you. And by stretching the floor plan, because they went with a full super slide, not just a sofa or just a dinette in the slide, if the left side of the RV gets bigger, the right side of the RV has to get bigger to grow with it. And that's where you see that extra like pantry space over there. A little bit of extra counter space, not quite as obvious, but there is a little bit extra there, again, partially as a result. Now, they've been working to get rid of floor vents wherever they possibly could, and it looks like in this floor plan, from what I've seen, they've pretty much knocked them all out. This looks to be carpetless and ventless flooring. That is an awesome recipe for some easy cleaning right there. Now, if you get the booth dinette, one of the handy things here, if we open these up, you see that there's a little bit of storage below the dinette. But working our way around, you can see how they've also, as we go through the kitchen, they've consolidated their decor. It's now just one decor to rule them all. But overall, I think it's better, and it looks cleaner to me, because the farmhouse decor they used before had these little accents on everything that it would sort of make the cabinetry look dirty, even when it was brand new, and you're not running into that here. So overall, I think it just looks better, cleaner, newer, fresher. And yeah, the furniture is a little bit dark, and there is a lot of furniture in this one, so depending on where you look, it can read dark. But also, when you're sitting down in the furniture, everything looks and reads really bright. And when you stand back, like when you first walk out of the bathroom or out of the bedroom into the living room, it just looks and feels nice and wide open and welcoming. So, you know, it's kind of a similar floor plan to, like I said, a 2500 Imagine. Not too far off of like a 25 RDS Cougar, something like that. So the extra space in here is a difference you can see and feel right away. And the way that they have this kind of segmented, it's almost like from here, like that's the living room. And then when you turn around, look the other direction, then you have a dedicated kitchen. Even though it is all one room, it does feel like there's a little bit more clarity and definition there that otherwise wouldn't have been. And they went with a hallway style privatized bathroom, so that if somebody is using the bathroom, you know, everybody else can still fully navigate the RV. Some people like that. Some people really prefer a walk-through bath, and that is why I record so many different RVs all the time, because I've yet to find the one that works for everybody. Now, that vaulted ceiling, it's only 6.5 foot on the sidewall, but the vaulted ceiling gives me the extra headroom that I'm going to need to kind of be able to stand up in that shower, and it works. It works really well. You see there's that extra little cabinet up there on the left. We're giving you a peek inside of that, as well as all this linen space right here. I love the fact that they put a door on it, and they fully enclose it. They don't leave stuff wide open. Now, there is that little pocket right there, but next to the toilet, that is absolutely perfect for toilet paper, at least in my estimation. And the space around the toilet, I found it to be what I like to call fairly fluffy friendly. It was very easy to get around. Also worth noting, they do put a locking bathroom door on these in case you really want to make sure you maximize your privacy. Also household and USB outlets on both sides of the bed. And the bedroom does have a sliding privacy door. That's what that little latch is right there. It'll catch the sliding door. And they also give you this little piece of privacy trim. It's nothing fancy, just a piece of trim screwed against the wall. But it gets rid of that peekaboo, I see you kind of little cracker on the door. Very handy in case you just happen to be, you know, folding that laundry rather aggressively, and it's, you know, just taking a lot of extra effort, if you know what I mean. Front windshield up here, giving you some awesome views of everything, although it does have a blackout shade. And the blackout shade has a radiant barrier on the back of it to really help try to keep this area climate controlled. Now, don't get me wrong. RVs with no windshield, they climate control more easily in the bedroom. What's weird is this last weekend, I was recording a bunch of Whitehawks, and they happen to be plugged in, and it's the first time I've been able to really be in one with the central air running while doing videos for a long time. And the bedroom, with all the windows, with all the shades open, not the windows open, but the shades open, the bedroom was the coldest room in the RV. So maybe it depends a little bit on which way the sun's parking, but I was shocked. I was actually really surprised with how well it cooled. And you can add a second air conditioner to this one. You have to sacrifice that vent up there, but you can do it. Now, giving you a look at the storage here in the bedroom, let's start by lifting up the bed. What's interesting, you have your chest storage down below, but you also have this handy like dresser storage on the bottom of both sides of the thing. Plus, across from the bed, off in the corner by the door, you have an additional closet and 4 dresser drawers down to the floor to really maximize your storage. So this is an RV that you could take out for a weekend, but I kind of think it's something that you could use long term. And it has good traveling access, although you're going to see in a second it's what I call a 2-stage traveler. Because while from the rear, like, living room door, we can get to the sink, the drawers, all the stuff that really matters in the kitchen. What you can't get to unless you decide to yeet your wife over the kitchen countertop between the slide over there or do a belly crawl over it, you can't get up to the bedroom and bathroom. But the good news is they left you a way around that. A lot of times in couples models, manufacturers won't include a second entry door. But by doing this right here, they have given you the ability to get to your bedroom and your bathroom, whether the RV is just in storage and you want to pack it up, or you're traveling and you need to use the bathroom. And if you're a little spooked by having a door straight into your bedroom, remember that you do have a deadbolt right here, same as your primary entry door. So door number 2 here can get you to the bedroom, to the bathroom, and kind of complete the travel access trifecta, although you do have to go out and around. So what's it take to tow something like this down the road? Can I pull it with my half-ton? That's a question people ask me all the time. That's the big question a lot of people have. Probably because half-tons are the most common vehicle on the road. And when you see the dry weight, when you see an 8,500-pound GVW, it does feel like it's kind of in that region. And I will say this, if you're in flatland, southern Michigan, where I'm from, and you've got a pretty, capable, respectable half-ton, yeah, maybe. For some of that flatland kind of towing, you might be all right. The wide stance axles do help offset a little bit of the length. I will say, though, if you're going to go through windy zones or heavy elevations, I don't think you're going to like how this tows behind a half-ton. That's just my kind of 2 cents. Now, over here on the right, that is the optional griddle package that you can get with this that installs into the J-port. And I really like how they've cleaned this up. You see how it's all finished even through the top of the front pass-through. Just gives it a nice, intentionally done look. Then over here on the other side, you see the battery disconnect, but those white stickers right next to it, that's telling you that this RV actually has a base level of inverter prep. So if you do feel like adding an inverter to the RV and you want to do some camping away from parks or without a generator, there are a small handful of outlets in this RV that actually could be live powered off your battery. Understand, you're going to drain your battery more quickly when you do that. They are using 30-pound propane tanks up front here, which is something very few brands in this size class and category do. The stabilizer jacks that they're using down here, the Lippert Quick Drop stabilizer, you can actually use like a little drill with a chuck bit adapter if you want to kind of NASCAR pit crew those little things, and getting you all the way down here looking at a couple things. You're not going to get to see much because the underbelly is enclosed, but it's also insulated and forced air heated. White Hawk models, every single model individually, has been rated, tested, proven for 0 degrees. Now, what I don't mean is every single White Hawk they build, they cold chamber and test. What I mean is they've built this floor plan, they tested it. Then they build a different floor plan, like the 29BH, and they test that one. Some manufacturers will try one floor plan and say, yep, it passed, so all of our campers must be weather tested, but it doesn't always work out that way, so Jayco takes the extra time to test it out. Dual Asdel walls is something that you get with these. So the layer just below the fiberglass that we're looking at and the layer on the inside wall, those are that Asdel resin composite material. And this is a single sewer outlet right here. You can actually see it just peeking down below the underbelly, so you don't have to worry about, getting a Y splitter or jumping your hose and accidentally making a little bit of a mess or anything. Now, the windows are very tinted. But when we're inside a display space like this with the lights on inside, kind of simulating almost twilight evening dusk hours, you can still kind of see through them, obviously. No question about that. Remember, of course, you have the privacy shades. Whereas when I'm normally recording outside at like one of our dealerships and the sunlight's hitting it from the outside, they're not lit up inside, it's like flat blackout. So they are good for privacy, but they're not like... There are times of the day where you still got to make sure you're not walking around in your skivvies unless you want the neighbors to leave the next morning, which is a life hack that I've really learn to use from time to time. Now, this does have a fully walkable roof. Actually, Jayco's Magnum Truss roof system with their plywood roof decking rated to hold more weight than anybody else in this class. And you see the backup camera prep right there. You may have also caught in the view every now and then a couple side view camera mounts. This is prepped and ready for a full observation camera suite. You saw up there also in our little floor plan in a flash that 200 watt solar package is now standard. These do use a 30 amp controller, which can handle more than just the 200 watts, although I don't know what kind of wiring gauge, what sort of size they're using there. So you want to kind of keep that one in mind. Now we're in a display space, so there's a little bit of stuff in our way. Apologies there, but I think you get the general idea. Overall, just a good look to it, and fiberglass skin cleans so much easier than a tin skin RV. I know it costs more, but if you've ever had to clean one on a Saturday, your shoulders will be just smoked by the time you're done with the stick and tin trailer. And I ain't gonna tell you it's gonna be just a cakewalk doing one of these, but it's a heck of a lot better, and it leaves you time for 2 more Coors Lights, trust me. So thanks again for tuning in, appreciate it, guys. Again, like I said, bigger, longer, heavier than some of the other things out there, but undeniably, there's extra space and in some areas a lot of extra comfort that the other ones just don't provide. But is it unnecessarily extra large, or are you glad to see it? I don't know, leave me some comments, let me know. And I'll leave you a link in the video description where you can check for pricing and availability at your convenience and at your leisure. And let's meet in the middle, meet me in the comment section, share a little bit of what you think about it, and I'll do my best to catch up. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.